This is a story about love, but not the kind you see in movies. Stay tuned. This one feels a little too real. From the outside, Seo-rin's marriage looked calm and stable. Mornings were quiet, routines predictable, affection subtle. But love does not disappear loudly. It fades in silence until one day you realize you are alone inside something meant for two. Yura returned without apology or explanation. She didn't behave like an intruder. She sat comfortably, like someone revisiting unfinished business. Ji-hoon noticed her without trying not to, and Seo-rin understood that some loves never truly disappear. Ji-hoon didn't confess betrayal. He confessed confusion, and confusion is cruel because it keeps hope alive while destroying certainty. In that moment, Seo-rin realized love can exist without loyalty, and that truth hurt more than anger ever could. The accident didn't erase memory. It rearranged it. Ji-hoon remembered loving two women at once, and for the first time, Seo-rin understood that love could be divided without mercy. She wasn't competing with betrayal. She was competing with unfinished feelings. Seo-rin chose dignity over waiting. She didn't leave because she stopped loving him. She left because love should never require shrinking yourself just to be chosen. Some endings are quiet not because they don't hurt, but because self-respect finally speaks louder than love. Seo-rin stood at the gate, calm on the outside, breaking quietly inside. She had already chosen herself. Ji-hoon ran not because he was certain, but because losing her finally felt real. And fear has a way of sounding like love when it's too late. He didn't grab her hand. He didn't beg. He just said her name. And that was worse, because it reminded Seo-rin of every moment she waited for him to say it when it mattered. Ji-hoon told her everything. How he ended it with Yura. How he finally understood. But understanding after damage is not love. It's regret asking for forgiveness it may not deserve. Seo-rin stepped away to breathe, because forgiveness felt heavier than anger, and love, when it wounds you deeply enough, teaches you that staying can hurt more than leaving. Seo-rin told him the truth he wasn't ready for. "You didn't lose me because you loved her," she said. "You lost me because you couldn't choose me when I was still standing." The announcement echoed through the terminal. Final boarding call. Seo-rin stepped forward. Ji-hoon didn't stop her. Because sometimes love isn't about chasing. It's about accepting that you were the lesson, not the ending. He chose her, not halfway, not confused. But by then, she had already learned how to live without being chosen. Life didn't fall apart after Seo-rin left. It became quieter, simpler, lonelier, but honest. She woke up without anxiety, without waiting for someone else's certainty. For the first time in a long time, love was not something she had to negotiate for. Healing didn't feel dramatic. It felt ordinary. Laughing again, walking without checking her phone, realizing she didn't miss him. She missed who she used to be before she begged to be chosen. Ji-hoon found her the way lost people do, quietly, carefully, already afraid. He had ended everything else, therapy, honesty, clarity. He had finally become the man she once waited for, and that truth broke them both. He told her he chose her, fully, clearly, finally, and Seo-rin believed him. That was the cruelest part, because love returning late does not undo the damage of love that hesitated when it mattered most. Seo-rin told him the truth without anger. She told him she loved him once in a way that almost erased her, and she refused to do that again. Love should feel like safety, not survival. Ji-hoon walked away, knowing he loved her. Seo-rin stayed knowing she loved herself more. Not all love stories end with together. Some end with growth. And sometimes, that's the most honest ending of all. The door stays open. Cold night air slips into the bedroom, brushing against Seo-rin's trembling hands. She doesn't step out. She doesn't turn back either. Ji-hoon remains on his knees, breathing unevenly, realizing that love isn't dying loudly tonight. It's suffocating quietly between them. Seo-rin finally turns. Not fully, just enough. Her voice is steady, but her eyes are not. Did you ever plan to choose me? The question doesn't sound angry. It sounds tired. Ji-hoon doesn't answer immediately, and that silence is louder than any confession. Ji-hoon swallows hard. I thought I could. The words are barely audible until everything became real. Seo-rin closes her eyes. That's it. Not betrayal, not lies, cowardice. He didn't choose her because he never decided to. Seo-rin walks back into the room slowly, not to forgive him, not to scream, but to finish something. She sits on the bed again, calmer now, and somehow stronger. Ji-hoon feels it immediately. The balance of power just shifted. You think I didn't know? Seo-rin says quietly. Ji-hoon's head lifts. Her phone rests beside her on the bed. I've known for 2 months. The air changes. He feels it. This wasn't a blind victim. She stayed. She watched. She waited. I stayed, she whispers, because I wanted to see if you would choose me on your own. Ji-hoon feels something inside him break, not because he got caught, but because he failed the simplest test of love. Ji-hoon stands fully now, not defensive, not proud, just small. I choose you, he says, but the words feel late. Seo-rin studies him quietly. Love is not about words after damage. It's about who you were before it. Seo-rin slowly stands too. They are eye level now. No power difference. No illusion. You don't get to choose me anymore, she says gently. I choose me. And somehow that hurts him more than any scream could. She walks past him, not rushed, not angry, just done. Ji-hoon doesn't stop her this time. The door closes softly, and in the silence that follows, he finally understands. Losing someone slowly is far worse than losing them suddenly. 3 months later, the bedroom feels unfamiliar. Ji-hoon still sleeps on the same side of the bed, but the other side remains untouched, too clean, too quiet. He tells himself he's adjusting, but every night he instinctively reaches across the mattress and finds nothing. At work, Ji-hoon laughs easily. He answers calls, shakes hands, speaks confidently. No one notices how quickly he checks his phone afterward. No missed calls, no messages. The silence from Seo-rin is louder than rejection. Then he sees it. A photo. Seo-rin, smiling. Not forced, not fragile, genuinely lighter. She's standing somewhere unfamiliar, sunlight hitting her hair. Ji-hoon feels something collapse quietly in his chest. She didn't break. She rebuilt. Seo-rin now lives in a smaller apartment. Brighter, quieter, intentional. She wakes early, drinks coffee alone by the window, and no longer waits for someone else's decision. She isn't pretending to be strong. She is. Fate isn't dramatic. It's casual. They see each other outside a bookstore. No music, no rain, just a quiet afternoon. Their eyes meet, and for the first time, there is no anger between them, only history. Hi, he says carefully. Seo-rin nods, no trembling, no tears. He searches her face for the girl who once waited for him. She's gone. The woman standing here doesn't need him to choose her anymore. I ended it, Ji-hoon says. Not defensive, not desperate, honest. There's no one else. The words hang in the air. This time, he isn't choosing between two women. He's standing alone. Seo-rin doesn't respond immediately. The silence stretches. He waits, but she no longer feels responsible for his relief. For once, the decision belongs entirely to her. She finally speaks. "You loved me when it was easy." A pause. "Can you love me when I don't need you?" Ji-hoon doesn't answer, because for the first time, he doesn't know.